talking on the phones, they can hear us.
When you got dumb cake up in the say, they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape. Up and down the interstate, yeah, we really touch. We touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had six phones, I got rid of them all. We get hit and sit down, we don't talk to the law. Yeah, they think I'm tripping, they listen. They know our every move, yeah, they want.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
To throw on 3rd down. Hogan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Prescott now from the 50. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
On the ground, it's Geis. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On third down, Hogan. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Leopard! Gun!
On first down, this is Geis. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on second down, Hogan forced out to his left. They find some open field here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. To throw again, Hogan. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, Hogan. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And oh, that is going to be a safety. So give 2 points to the defense. They were in hot pursuit there, and in the end, they force him out of bounds.
You just wondered how he was going to get out of this one, Brandon. We saw him painting himself into a corner, and finally has nowhere to go but out the side of the end zone.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
The Redskins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun, Hogan. And that is incomplete. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On second down, Elliott. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for... Oh, Prescott stripped. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a first down. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Prescott looks to throw on first. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Throwing, Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now back to the ground with Elliott. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A give to Elliott. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Randall Cobb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is up to 5. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. So out now come the Redskins. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
On 1st down, Hogan. Crowder's got it over the middle. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hogan, he'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And it's a keeper with Prescott. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Around the NFL, second quarter in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Throwing on first down. Hogan. Flush to his right. Finding some room at midfield. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Hogan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. This fielded at the 2. And spins away. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A first down carry by Elliott. Breaks a tackle. And he'll They'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Carry now for Elliott. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. And a big 32-yard play on third.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. That's some strong running. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now Prescott. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal. Prescott to throw it. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And they got the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Now Hogan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Hogan now, over the middle, complete. It's Bird. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Detroit!
Off the play fake. Hogan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bird. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Gun!
From the gun, Hogan trying to lay one up deep. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. Oh, the spin. How about another? Oh, now he bowls him over. Back now in Arlington. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Back to it after the pick 6. Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now running right through it. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Get out.
Prescott now. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The give is to Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes this a 9-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on 2nd down. Hogan. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd and 2, Hogan got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Hogan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On the handoff, it's Geis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Hogan. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
A handoff left, Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to be met at about the 43. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, Elliott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here's Prescott. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He's back to throw. That'll be caught right side by Reid. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
They was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here's Elliott. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Elsewhere, fourth quarter score now for Baltimore. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He gets it in the hands of Geis. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On 1st down, Hogan. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to the air on 2nd down. Hogan, he's going to let it fly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Cowboys, the win moves them to 3-9 now on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Washington, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I say, babe, it's. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me. And I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He make sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snap. I take your man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch. That straight back. Got lips like Angelina. Belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I'm in 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, your man, with my name in your mouth. I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Mean I'm a buyer, not leasing no beamer. I'm buying no gun, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin. Now the cutie, I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for a doubt, she don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane, asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. What we gon' let? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, my. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6 Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snicker bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. Y'all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running with the bag, baby, never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stressed.
Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now, no reasonable doubt. It's clear to see, all eyes on me for 100 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hate it or love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. On first down, Wilson sets up the screen to Gordon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
36 power.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On first down, Tannehill. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. But he's got it.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. Left side complete, Seferian-Jenkins. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
All right, partner, let's go back over the last couple of plays. Sack, loss of yards on a running play. Not exactly the sequence that an offensive coordinator gets comfortable with when calling plays.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. Open man is Westbrook, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
They had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Tannehill on first down. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though,
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Always got some breathing room. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
Check 50, check 50. Cut. Green 80. Green 80, cut.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Here's a give to Fournette, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Tannehill throwing again. And this is going to be intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Don't take forever, okay?
Wilson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
The punter wing is on as he sends this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor, maybe break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. His throw is going to be incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Third down here. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he finds Seferian-Jenkins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. Allen, the intended receiver. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
To me, that's a terrific run on first and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. in for the score. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
So they held them out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. Tannehill, and that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6, and the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in this.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Play action. It's Wilson. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Here's Brad Wing now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So
rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And the pressure gets to him again. Corey Legion in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now it's Tannehill. He's going to launch this thing. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. Russell Wilson, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Sturgis adds the PAT, and the lead is now 10-7. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A little juke. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established.
He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Tannehill. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 22.
Well, that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are going to take the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Tannehill. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Melvin Ingram. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Tannehill. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Desperation time for Tannehill on fourth down. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots. Your guys, man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Let's go to work. 19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas. Check. 53.
And they'll go on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that sets up a big 3rd down. Now the decision has to be, do you run it here and play for OT, or do you go ahead and press it downfield?
The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Wilson to throw. And it's complete. Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game.
Zebra.
Here's Wilson. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Shotgun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Throwing now is Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And avoids the contact by sliding. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So this game will come down to the right leg of Caleb Sturgis. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken about the 12. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now Wilson eluding the pressure right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Their defense did its job. Got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
That part 1 is done. Now part 2. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now Tannehill with his first throw in OT. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Back to throw, Tannehill. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
His throw incomplete. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a first down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up. But in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Tannehill once more. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Jaguars on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Tannehill now running the option to the right side. And his second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They snap it to Tannehill. And it is incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
There he goes inside the 30. 31 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So this game will come down to the right leg of Caleb Sturgis. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder, A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the home team here, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.